not long after Hertz Global Holdings emerged from bankruptcy last summer, reorganized after the COVID-19 pandemic stalled the entire car rental industry. The Estero, Florida-based company boldly announced a $4.2 billion deal to purchase 100,000 Tesla fully electric vehicles, EVs, by the end of 2022. But just like the full-scale adoption of EVs among American drivers is going to take years, the rental car shift also will be a marathon, not a sprint. Companies that operate fleets at our size cannot just turn on a dime and next year go all EV, said Sharky Laguena, president of the American Car Rental Association. The $56 billion U.S. rental industry typically buys about 1/10 of auto manufacturers' new cars every year, but with persistent supply chain disruptions, especially the shortage of essential computer chips, the numbers are way down. And then there's the challenge of educating and training companies' agents and mechanics on EVs, not to mention familiarizing drivers on the differences from operating ICE vehicles. Hertz does not state the overall number of vehicles in its fleet, said Jeff Neiman, Senior Vice President, Operations Initiatives, so it's unknown how many Teslas are available in the more than 30 markets currently offering EVs, which now also include the first of the 65,000 Polestar 2s, an EV brand jointly owned by Volvo and its Chinese parent Geely, which has planned to go public through a SPAC deal. Hertz began purchasing in a 5-year deal announced in April. Neiman did say, however, he is confident that EVs will represent more than 30 USD off our fleet by the end of 2024. In the meantime, Hertz has several 100,000 ICE models in the U.S. that will be rented for years to come, said Chris Waronka, an analyst at Deutsche Bank. Beyond comparing costs of employees driving EVs versus ICE cars, currently skewed by the national average of around $5 for a gallon of regular gas, companies view EVs as a quantifiable way to reduce their greenhouse gas (GHG) emissions, meet net zero goals and burnish their environmental, social, and governance (ESG) bona fides among sustainability investors and advocacy groups. The initial research has shown that corporate accounts are going to be willing to pay a premium for EVs, Waronka said, because it helps them achieve some of their ESG objectives. Not surprisingly, rental companies themselves are embracing this concept, said Sarah Forney, Director of Clean Vehicles for the nonprofit Corporate Electric Vehicle Alliance, SEVA. We fully support our global decarbonization and ESG goals, said Randall Achterberg, North America Travel Commodity Manager, and our fleet makes the largest Scope 1 emissions footprint and we already making progress with an aggressive EV transition strategy, referring to GHGs produced by Siemens U.S. fleet of nearly 10,000 vehicles. NTR Pyrise may not be as out-front as Hertz with its EV rental program, but the privately held company, Lewis, has been in the exploratory stage since 2014. That's the year it began participating in the Drive Electric Orlando Rental Pilot, a multi-year study sponsored by the Electrification Coalition, a Washington, D.C. based nonprofit advocating for EV adoption, particularly among fleet owners. The company rented all-electric cars, including Chevy Volts and Nissan Leafs to travelers, who were incentivized with perks such as free charging, parking and valet service.